What's going on YouTube? Coming back at you with another video. Okay, so I told you guys I was going to do this every so often, bring you these old stories that I thought were interesting, that you may have never heard before. The last one, or one of the last ones I brought you, was the Rod DIGGS story with Jim Jones, the confrontation that happened between the two of them. A lot of people out there like that, being that Rod DIGGS is one of my favorite rappers of all time, one of the most authentic, realist, whatever you want to call it. I figured I'd bring you another Rod DIGGS story. This one is interesting as well. So this story is about Saquon Wallace, who was actually convicted and serving 30 years for drug trafficking, or for racketeering, drug trafficking, murder, and he was the leader of a crew that was terrorizing the Wyckoff Gardens housing project in Boerum Hill, Brooklyn. So this guy decided to try to get some less time, that he was going to work with the government against Rod DIGGS, and to actually went on the stand and testified about a murder that he was involved in. And he told the jury that he got the idea for dressing like a woman to do the murder from Rod DIGGS. So this is some of his testimony when he was on the stand. He said, I put on a wig, lipstick, makeup, and I went looking for him. And he was talking about a man named Jabari Foster, who actually was the person that got murdered. Apparently, Wallace wanted Jabari Foster dead for not obeying an order to stop selling drugs in this particular housing project building. So this guy decided to go do this hit. He decided to use what he said was Rod DIGGS' advice of dressing up like a woman. So 6'2", 200-pound plus Saquon Wallace walking around the projects looking for Jabari Foster. And this is what happened. Basically, he came to an apartment where there was loud music and partying. He figured he was at the right place. He waited around the corner for Jabari Foster, and this is what he testified to in court. He said, someone walked out, and I was around the wall waiting. Then the person came in the open. It was him, and I opened fire on him repeatedly and killing him. So under cross-examination, this guy was asked, did you look like a woman? He replied, yes. Then they asked him, so it was a good disguise for you? He said, good enough. He also testified that after he did this murder, that he put the clothes, everything that he was wearing evidence-wise, in a plastic bag and burned it. It's interesting to note, though, that none of the murders which Rod DIGGS was convicted of actually involved him as dressing as a woman. But again, this guy was trying to get a break on his lengthy sentence and decided to testify against Rod DIGGS. Rod DIGGS ultimately convicted of 12, or given 12 life sentences, I believe, plus some. So they really stuck it to Rod DIGGS. Even more so, being in prison is bad enough. That's one thing. But being in prison in the Florence, Colorado ADX AdMax facility is a whole nother level. They really stuck it to Rod DIGGS by putting him there and basically completely removing him from the world. A crazy situation, crazy story as far as Rod DIGGS is concerned. I got lots of other good, interesting stories to bring to you in the near future. If you like these stories, definitely let me know in the comments. I do appreciate you watching. Make sure you hit the like before you leave. Make sure you subscribe. Ring the notification bell too, so you get the updates on my videos if YouTube so chooses to give them to you. I appreciate you though. Peace.